Hi there, it's Donna from Taffy Crafting. I've got a sweetie treat for you today. Earlier on today I bought 3 of these eggs. I do apologise about the light in here. I'm really struggling with light. It just looks like we're doing this in the dark. We'll see how we get on. It is a bit shadowy in here. So I bought 3 of these. One I ate, and then one I've decided to put together a box. And I did promise that during February I would start doing some boxes where I actually calculate it is dark, isn't it? Where I actually calculate the size of the box so that we don't get too much jiggling about. There's not too much jiggling about in this box. So this egg, the height of it is 2.5 and the width of it is about 1.5. So the circumference at its widest point is 1.5. So that's where I decided I wanted to make my box that was square, this all the way round, of 1.5, but that the height of it was 2.5. So I used some grey. I love grey. So I used some grey cardstock. I think that's basic grey cardstock with some of this lovely birthday Bonanza DSP, and then I just used the 1 5/8 and the 1 3/8 and the 1 1/8 scallop punch just to put a nice little circle on there. And then I used the Wildly Happy stamp set, and it's got a little sentiment on there that says "for you." And then this is last year's ribbon, so I didn't have any other ribbon to go with it, so I've just pinched this. But you could put black ribbon on there to pick out that, or some lovely Mango Melody ribbon as well. Anything will go with that. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to pause, sort out the light, and then we'll get going again. It's a bit better. It's not great, but we'll go with that for now. I'll have to do all my filming in the daytime. I always end up doing it late at night. So I'm going to do this quick tutorial for you. My husband's at the rugby. I'm going to get a message from him any minute to say that he needs picking up. But I'm going to do this slow enough so that you could craft along with me. So what I did when I was working this out, I've got this amazing notepad. And it suits me down to the ground because it's got Expert Procrastinator, and I got this from a shop called Typo, and this is me. I am a procrastinator, and I've decided that I'm just going to be better at this now. So what I did is I did some drawing. So this is of one side of the box, so that's the bottom flap, that's the main box there, the height of it and the width of it, and then this is the lid, and then this is the little flap that goes on the front of the lid. So I know that I need 4 of those because there are 4 sides to a box, and then I need just 1/2 inch extra for a tab. So I know that I'm going to need 6.5 that way. So I need the base. I then need the height of the box, which is 2.5. The box lid is going to be the width and the depth of the box, and then there's the little lip on top. So I put all of those measurements on there, and that comes to 6. So that's how I've worked that out, so that I get as little wobble in my box as possible. Let's put the egg to one side. So that's what I'm aiming to get to, and I'll show you just how easy this is. So I'm going to be using some Golden Honey DSP. I love this monochrome effect on this, but it's got that on the back. It's quite different, so we're going to go with that. And we're going to have our flowers going this way, so we need to be careful when we cut this to make sure that our flowers are actually going in the right direction. So the first thing we're going to start off with is a piece of basic black cardstock, and I'm going to trim that to 6.5 inches by 6 inches. It's not ideal me doing this in black, but there we are. I've chosen it now. So just get that to the 6.5 measurement, and then I'm going to trim it off that way, turn it. So that was 6.5, and then this way is 6. So there's our box, kind of our template for it. And then I'm going to get out the scoreboard. It's a bit of a beast, but let's get that on there. So that's the width of my box. So all I want to do is just do a score line every 1.5 inches. So 1.5, 3, 4.5 and 6. And I would suggest that you write it down to make sure that, you know, and then check it. And then we turn it round. Now to start off with, I want this to be the top of my box. Now the reason why I want to do a mark at 1/2 inch here, so at 5.5. Oh dear, at 5.5, that happens a lot to me. I want that at 5.5 inches because it's really difficult. I could do it that way, but trying to do, I did make even worse of a job of it if I did it that way round and then scored at 1/2 inch. So what I do is I come 1/2 inch in that one and then I come back this way. So I've got 1/2 inch. I then need 1.5 inches for my box lid. So 1/2 add 1.5 is 2. But you didn't know you were getting a maths lesson here, did you? Then 2.5 for our main box height. So 2 add 2.5 is 4.5. I have to think for a minute then. And then 4.5 add 1.5 for our box base, then takes us up to 6. So that's all of that done. Put that away. I'm going to get my bone folder and just fold and burnish all of those score lines. So we get nice crisp score lines there. Now luckily, because I'm decorating the box, that little slip up I had with my scoring tool will be covered up with DSP. So as we're looking at that, so we've got, that's the lip of our lid, that's the lid, that's the main box, that's the base, and then along here with this skinny rectangle here is the tab that holds it together. So this tab, what that will do is come round like that and then give us a box. So what we want is the tab to be attaching to the back. So once I know what the back is, then I know what my lid is going to be. So once I know where my lid is going to be, then I know what my front is going to be. Because the lid is at the back is opposite the front. So I'm just going to put an F there, and then I can't get confused. So if that's the back, what we're going to do is start off here, this is the bottom, and we're going to cut up to the first score line. Now when we get to here, where we've got that kind of skinny rectangle there, we're going to cut up to that first score line. And then there, I just want to cut in diagonally to that. My phone's going to ring in a minute because I can see that my husband's been trying to phone my mobile. There it is. Hi there, I'm back again. Crisis averted. One of our neighbours, very, very elderly neighbours, had a problem and we went over and saved the day. So back to my box. So there's the lid. So I'm going to remove all of this. So this very narrow rectangle and these squares, and we're just going to leave that behind, that bit. So I'm going to cut all the way up to there, and then cut up to the first score line and then to the second score line. And so you're left with that. And I'm just going to very gently just round off that corner there on that lid and round off that corner there just a tiny bit. I don't want to take too much off it. That was an absolute hideous corner rounding there. So there's the basis of our box. One last thing I've missed there, this tab, I just want to nick into that diagonally. Okay, so then what we're going to do is decorate the box. So I'm just going to put that to one side. So we want some paper to decorate this, and it's going to measure 1 3/8 of an inch. We'll see how many we get out of one piece of paper. Let's get the old trimmer back out. Oh, with a bit of a crash. So because the width of my box is 1.5, I want that to be 1/8 of an inch smaller. So that will be 1.5, so it'll be 1 3/8 of an inch. And I'm just going to do some strips of that. I've just got 3 strips of that, so I want these now to be 2 3/8 high. So when you're doing this, you've got to watch the direction of your paper. So if you're using up scraps, make sure they are in the right direction. Two and 3/8 there, so that's 2 of those. And we want another 2. So I've now got 4 of them, and then I want one that measures 1 3/8 square. So this is 1 3/8 width, so I just want that like that. Let's put the paper trimmer away. So now what I want to do is get back to my box. So my 4 rectangles are going to fit on like that. Now you can round the corners if you want to, or you can just leave them with unrounded corners like that. And then this one, the lid one, is going to go that way round. So I've just got some, it's not Stampin' Up, I've got some adhesive here which very quickly, I would normally use wet glue if I wasn't doing this in a little bit of a rush. I would put wet glue on there because then you can wiggle it about to get it in the right position. And what I've got out here is my emergency adhesive, as I have to order, all my adhesive has run out. I've got to order some liquid glue, and I've got to order some dimensionals and some tear and tape and some snail, which is the Stampin' Up version of this. So I'm just putting those on there just so it's got a nice border, nice black border all the way around. Now, normally, oh, that's a bit of a mess. Normally when I am doing a monochrome project, I like to have a pop of colour, but I'm not going to in this one. This is going to be true monochrome. So there's the tab of my box, and I'm going to get some tear and tape, and I'm just going to put that right on the edge. So where that score line is, that's where you're going to put your tear and tape. And then I'm just going to pick that off there like that. Fold that over. So let me just show you that again. I did that a bit quick. So I put some adhesive on the front. So I put some adhesive on here. So looking at it from the inside, bring that bit over. There's your adhesive. Then you bring this side over, and you really want to get those score lines to match. And there we have it. Just wanted to stick there. Get off. Come on. There we are. So there's our box. There's the lid that fits in like that. What we need is a little thumb thingy. That is a technical word. Like that. So I've just taken a little 1/2 inch circle punch, just pushed it in there part way, and then punched that out. So now my lid fits in there like that. Now, there's the front of my box. So with these bottom flaps here, we're going to push each side in like that. The back one comes forward. This one, we're going to put some adhesive here and then stick that there. This is why I use Stampin' Up. This stuff is hideous. And then we're just going to pull that round like that. Where's the front? There's my front of my box. Now I just want to put a little sentiment there. So we get to use the scraps. There's all that stuff I cut off before any of you are getting upset because there's a lot of scrap. Don't get upset. We're going to sort it out. So I'm going to take the 1 3/8 of an inch scallop circle punch and just put that in one of those panels and punch that out. Try and break my punch. That's it. Let's put that there. So this, I want that just to sit in there like that. So I'm just going to put a bit of adhesive if I can get it to work. This is why we don't buy cheap stuff, because it doesn't work. And I'm going to put that right in the middle of my box, like that. Now I'm going to get some white card. I had some earlier. I'll put that down. Oh, it's up here. So what I'm going to do, I've got from the Wildly Happy stamp set, I'm going to use this tiny little For You sentiment. It's a little box that needs a little sentiment. Memento black ink. Just think that up. Oh, that's awful. Should we try that again? Pressed a little bit too hard there. Much better. And then I've got my 1 1/8 scallop circle punch. Fit that in, get it nice and central, and punch that. I've got the last of my rhinestones here before I open another pack, and I'm going to put one doesn't want to sit round, come on. I'm going to put one there, and I'm going to put another one just on the other side. Just there. And then I'm going to stick that onto my box with some dimensionals. I don't know where I'd be without these mini dimensionals. On just about every project I use them. And I'm just going to put that right in the middle of that circle like that. And there we have it. Now, what that's missing is a bit of ribbon. And I've got this beautiful black organdy glitter ribbon. Can you see the glitter in that? And what I'm going to do, I just want to tie it up like that. Cut it diagonally so it doesn't fray. That measures, yeah, about 16 inches, and you probably won't need all of that, but it's easier if you've got a little bit extra for you to tie it. So I'm just going to put it, sit the box on it, and I'm going to tie a ribbon, tie a knot. I'm not going to do a bow because I can't do bows. And then because it's kind of that organza ribbon, it stands up nice and proud like that. Just trim that off using diagonal cuts, and then that won't fray. So there we go. There we are. Little box for our. Oh, do you know what I did? Didn't put the egg in it. So I'm going to take that off. There's my egg. Put that in there like that. So it does move about a bit, but you know, you could perhaps put some tissue paper in there or something. I'm going to close that and then endeavour to get this back on. So that's a box that can be used several times. And there we have it, a lovely little monochrome box. Where's my other one? Another fun box, which is nice for kids. And, you know, if you're having people together for for Easter, we've only just had Christmas. And of course, because it's February, then all the shops are just played with Easter stuff. So we've got Easter eggs now to play with, which is rather nice. So there we go. I hope you like that. I apologise about the lights. I will get that sorted ready for the next video. But just to give you a bit of an insight as to how you can come up with the dimensions of your box based on whatever it is you're putting in your box. I hope you like it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Come and subscribe to my channel. I'm chasing 700 subscribers at the moment, so it'd be lovely if I could get there at the end of February. So hopefully see you again very soon. Bye bye.